Network Entertainment.
So I talked to my sister, and she's I look up to her a lot. She's very successful. So she's just like, she kept asking me questions like, what do you want? What do you want? And finally we went down to the point of just me saying, I just want to be with people and make them laugh. And then from there, she kept asking me questions. And that's when I realized I wanted to become a stand-up comedian.
Mga Immortal, welcome to the Underpaid podcast. I'm your host, Stanley. Ito ang podcast na pro-employee para sa mga Immortal wherein we talk about work-related topics in a light manner na parang nagkukwentuhan lang tayo. In this episode, may special guest tayo all the way from New York. Pumunta siya sa Pilipinas. She's a former corporate slave or corporate manager in the makeup industry or beauty industry. Tapos naging stand-up comedian. Dito sa Pilipinas, mahirap mag-career shift or career transition. Siya nagawa niya in her 40s. From being an office worker, naging stand-up comedian sa New York. Ito na po, papakilala ko na mga Immortal. Patricia Dinglasan. Welcome to the podcast.
Hi. Yeah, wow, I came all the way from New York just to see you, just to record this.
From New York, Cubao. See, you're Pinoy. Nagets mo yung joke eh.
I know. My sense of humor is super corny. So yeah, definitely Filipino.
Oh, so hanggang kailan ka dito?
We're here. No, wait. Is that my Taglish is so bad? Is that how long am I here or how long? We're here until September 2nd.
Okay, so by the time na ma-publish to, nasa New York na siya.
Oh, good. I'll escape. In case you can't cancel me from all the way over here, so it'll be fine.
Oh, ikukwento niya sa atin kung paano yung transition niya. This is like a career transition episode.
Okay.
Like most of our guests, they tell us the story from being a corporate person into a freelancer or whatever career they're into right now.
Mm-hmm.
Pero bago yan, please like and subscribe to the Underpaid podcast. Leave a comment, rate the podcast, answer the poll question.
Smash the like button.
Yeah.
What else?
And follow me on all social media platforms. Nandun ako and I also have Suplado Motors. Shout out kay Zar na nasa Thailand ngayon. Kasalukuyang nagpapahinga sa Thailand. Babalik siya next episode pagka okay na. And mag-subscribe kayo sa mga social media accounts namin, pati kay Patricia. Okay? Patricia, what was your former day job?
So my former day job, I was at Estee Lauder Companies for almost 15 years. I started there when I first moved to New York. I started as like an administrative assistant in marketing, and then I moved up through the corporate ladder, and then eventually my last position there was as an operations executive with the Le Maire and Jo Malone brands. Jo Malone brands. Yeah, Le Maire and Jo Malone. And I did a lot of forecasting, tons of spreadsheets, just, making like numbers match and being
forecasting ng alin, ng kung ano yung magiging uso.
Forecasting how much product we were going to make and sell.
Okay.
Yeah, so doing like working with finance and also the marketing departments and just, being realistic about numbers and predictions and things.
And then you did this until you were in your 40s, tapos you realized you wanted to be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah. You know what? I think like I was so buried in just like spreadsheets and things, and I just honestly I knew there was something inside of me that I wanted to let out, but I didn't know what it was. And so I was talking to my sister Kelly, and it was just I was like a corporate slave, so I was like really working late hours. I already had 2 kids. I was so just, that feeling inside where you're just like, you don't want to go to work on Monday, like the Sunday scaries.
Yeah.
And I was having that like every day. So I talked to my sister, and, she's I look up to her a lot. She's very successful. So she's just like, she kept asking me questions like, what do you want? What do you want? And finally we went down to the point of just me saying, I just want to be with people and make them laugh. And then from there, she kept asking me questions. And that's when I realized I wanted to become a stand-up comedian. And it was so strange because the question she really asked me was like, what would you want to do if money didn't matter?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what it ended up
It's
to
like,
be.
what's your ikigai?
Ikigai?
Ikigai, yeah.
What's ikigai?
Yung what you really want to do or what you're born to do, what people pay you to do.
Yeah.
There's a test eh. What's your ikigai?
Ikigai.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a Japanese word.
Yeah,
or
it's a
something.
Japanese word.
Oh, it
yeah.
is?
Yeah,
Okay.
It is a Japanese word.
So my ikigai was to make people laugh. So
Yeah.
then from there, I took a stand-up comedy class, and this was just before 2000, like maybe 2016, and I loved it.
How much is a class in stand-up comedy in New York?
Oh wow. My first one, it was at the Comedy Cellar, and it was probably around $400.
$400?
Yeah.
That's a lot, huh?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh.
And then there was a big class show at the end, and then I performed, and then I thought that was it. And then I started thinking like, wait, I want to do this even more and more. And so when we were talking about when I really started comedy was in 2018, because then I started to work part-time from Estee Lauder, and then I was like consulting with them for a little while.
Yeah.
And 2018, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do stand-up for real. Like I will.
You decide to do it full-time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, that's when I took the plunge. I was like, okay, I'm really going to go to a lot of open mics. I'm really going to, record my sets, rewrite jokes, like the whole all-in kind
Since
of thing.
you've been writing essays already, so you're used to writing. Diba?
Writing, the shortest, funniest essays you'll ever see, right? It's just, so much writing. And then like it gets like condensed down to like a setup and punch.
Yeah.
That's
what you trim the fat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so much fat.
So
much fat.
When you attended your class, how many classes did you attend in New York?
I did that class, and then in 2018, I did another class with Karen Bergreen at Manhattan Comedy School, and that's when I really learned, like, okay, you go to these open mics and you really work out the material, and you work it out in front of audiences, and you record, and it's almost like how you take data, right? So you'll see like all the data points, and you're like, okay, this is funny, this is working, this is not working, no one laughed. And I think like that really helped me because I had that corporate background to say like, okay, this is an A joke, this is a B joke, this is like just having that like analytical mind to know when something is working, when you have something, and when to let something go, which is really painful too.
Yeah. Does it pay well when you do stand-up in New York?
Oh, God, no. God, no. It is. So
how much was your first gig? First paid gig? How much did they pay you?
Probably a drink ticket, like one beer, maybe. Nothing. I think for the first couple of years, like I was probably earning negative money. When my sister asked me, like, what would you do if money really didn't matter? Yeah, that was it really.
So how did you? There's something that should sustain the lifestyle.
Yes, yeah. So in New York, at least, comedy when you first start out really doesn't pay. Like everybody has a day job. I'm very lucky. Like I have a husband who is very supportive of me doing comedy, but also financially supportive, which is how it's a privilege that I got to, stay at home with the kids and pursue stand-up comedy. But even then, like I still always wanted to have like a part-time job. Like I still like to stay busy.
Yeah.
Because in the first few years when I was like, okay, I'm just going to do stand-up comedy. And then like during the day when I had all this free time, I'd be like, no, I should be writing. But you know what? I think I'm going to go to like exercise class or like Pilates, and then I'll do this and like making up all this other stuff. So I still do work part-time. I'm now a school aide at my kid's former elementary school.
What does a school aide do?
Oh my God. She aids the school. Oh my gosh, it's actually kind of fun. So I line up elementary school age children for recess and for lunch, and I blow the whistle. And
So it's like a school. It's like an assistant.
yeah. Yeah. So I support the teachers like when the teachers aren't teaching.
Yeah.
So anything like, to do with recess.
Oh, it's like a teaching assistant.
Kind of, but
Right,
I'm not
diba?
even teaching. Like, so the best part was that when I got this part-time gig, I knew the principal already because of my kids going to school there. So I said, hey, you know what? You know that I'm a comedian. I just want something that's going to give me structure during the day. And then I actually was very blunt. I was like, I do not want any upward mobility. I do not want to be promoted. I don't want any projects long term. Like comedy is like my number one goal.
You're just in there for the regular 9 to 5 and the monthly stipend.
Yeah. Just so it's not even 9 to 5. It's 10 to 2.
10 to 2.
It's only 4 hours.
Yeah. Does it pay well being a school aide?
No, not really. But it's a little bit of money, and it pushes me to be more productive with my time. So it's like, okay, I have this job from 10 to 2. So you have to get in your exercise early and then do your writing for a certain time as well. Like it adds structure to my day.
Do you volunteer during parent-teacher meetings to host the event and do stand-up?
I've done that before. Yeah. It's weird. Like I had to sort of out myself as a comedian to people who weren't comedians. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like when you tell other moms, it's like, I'm a comedian, and it's like the secret that I'm sharing.
What's their first reaction?
First reaction is like, you're so brave, like it's admiration. And then they're like, oh my God, I could never do that. I think some are cool, some are a little bit judgy,
How do they judge you?
Like, who does she think she is? Maybe, but that is my own paranoia.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would say that to my face, but
Do you idolize comedians in New York? Who are those comedians?
Oh my gosh. So many comedians. One of my favorite comedians is Mark Normand. He's like super, super fast, very pithy. No, gosh, who else do I love?
So your style of comedy is a bit animated, very high energy.
I think it's high energy.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty fast. It's pretty happy, I think, maybe hopeful and a little dark all at the same time.
Yeah.
But I think definitely like New York comedians, I think go really like fast, like set up punch.
They don't like the deadpan, nonchalant type of comedians.
Also,
like-
it can also be like deadpan, like Todd Barry. But he's also like laughs every like 10 seconds, even though his delivery is very deadpan.
But if you're animated, you can fit in with the Pinoy audience. The Pinoy audience likes the animated style of comedy.
Yeah. They're like,
they like the Jim Carrey when they watch movies. For stand-up, they like the Jokoy type.
Mm-hmm. They like
fast-paced.
Atsuko. She was here a few weeks ago. There's so many good comedians. I feel like in New York. One that I really admire. Her name is Zarna Garg. She's an Indian mom. She started out with me, and she's like exploded now. But we started together at the same time, and she just talks about like her experience as an Indian mom in America.
And then she marketed herself on TikTok or Instagram.
TikTok,
and then her followers just grew.
Yeah.
Galing, ah.
Yeah.
Do you do the same?
You know what? I'm a little shy when it comes to social media, to be honest. Like, I've had some experiences
But
where
you've been in marketing and sales.
Yeah, but that's marketing for product.
You're a product.
I know,
You're a comedian.
I know. I swear, I am not good at selling myself. Like, I think there's a part of like this I don't know if it's like Filipino culture or Asian culture where it's to be like humble and a little bit bashful. And every time I'm promoting something or even just a show, like I feel like I'm being mayabang.
No, not really. You need to promote your shows and your stand-up comedy bits.
I know.
But you can talk about being a Filipino mom in the States.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah, I do. And it's just I don't like I feel so like cringy just talking about myself. I don't know. I feel like there's still a part of me that is like this girl that was like taught to be appropriate and, be a good girl, behave. There are the rules. You're supposed to go to church and get married. So like, I feel like because I'm like doing all of this stuff, I don't want to be judged, but at the same time, you know what? I might as well go for it because I'm already all in.
You don't have anything. You've got nothing to lose naman eh.
Yeah.
Yeah, promote yourself on TikTok.
Yeah. Thank you for this therapy.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, you're right. No, you're totally right.
Diba?
Because who else is going to do it?
What's up, Kingdom fam? Yuki and Ingrid here from the Kingdom Podcast. Are you someone who has fully integrated K-pop into your life? Or keep up with the latest K-pop comebacks, news, and scandals?
Do you also dream about getting married to your bias and having their babies in the future? Well, you're in the right... What? I'm just being honest.
Look, you know what? Let's just get back to it. At the Kingdom Podcast, we dive into the latest comebacks, dissect the music videos, and do deep dives on controversies.
Not only do we make things informative, but we also keep it fun. It'll be just like listening to a group of friends who love K-pop as much as you.
You won't find another podcast that's as fun and unfiltered as ours.
So, if you're ready for some K-pop chaos, grab your nightsticks and tune in.
Check out the Kingdom Podcast.
Stream it on all your favorite podcast platforms. Stay awesome, Kingdom fam! I thought that was pretty good. What do you think?
Marrying your bias and having their babies? Really?
Yep.
Okay.
You've been in marketing. You know how to market a product. I think you won't have any problems doing it.
Yeah.
You market yourself on Instagram, Facebook. Pinoys, they're always on Facebook and Instagram. And TikTok.
Yeah.
It's for the younger generations. But what's your take on comedians posting their jokes on TikTok and the audience might not watch them because that's their material already?
You know what? I think it's fine to post jokes that you're going to use again.
Yeah.
Because like there are millions, billions of people in the world. Like not everyone has seen every single reel that you've done, every single TikTok that you've done. And if it's like an amazing joke, then yeah, go for it. Why not? Like I feel like it can be used again. And especially though, I love all the crowd audience work. Yeah.
Okay.
I love those, especially if I get a moment like that on video. Like that to me is social media gold because it's just like you can put it up and it goes and it's like you don't lose anything from it, which
How
is
about
nice.
Plagiarism in the States as a stand-up comedian? Because here in the Philippines, it's hard to catch someone or to tell someone na, hey, you're stealing my joke. Especially for local comedians, maybe people that you don't know, they will steal your joke. They watch you on YouTube or TikTok and they copy your set.
Oh gosh. You know, I don't really I don't feel like there's a lot of plagiarism for me because at least in the States, because there are so few Filipino moms doing stand-up. So it's like if a white guy goes up and he's like, hi, I'm a Filipino mom, like it's so like it really doesn't fit. And I feel like I'm so specific when it comes to a lot of my jokes and like where I live, what my kids are up to, that there isn't a lot of plagiarism happening for me. That said though, there's so much comedy that we're always absorbing. So then it's good to like hear like feedback. It's like, hey, for instance, like I recently went to like a Neil Diamond cover band and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to do like a Sweet Caroline joke and it's going to be great. And then one of my friends, Amy, was like, oh my God, wait, Trevor Noah has an amazing joke on Sweet Caroline, and I was like, oh god damn it! Like it's
But magkakaiba kayo or you'll be different with your point of view.
yes,
And
yeah,
Trevor Noah has a different point of view. So it might be the same topic but different
takes. Yeah.
different punchlines.
yeah, for sure. So then
Diba?
I have to research his joke
Yeah.
and make sure
It's
my
not the
joke.
same.
Yeah. But it does happen a lot. Like even though there's like so many like similar paths of thought. So a lot of people like so many guys in the States who are doing comedy are on dating apps. And it's like, oh my God, here's another dating app. And for a while, like it was avocado toast. Like everyone was talking about avocado toast.
It's like the ube cheese pandesal
oh,
during the pandemic.
what?
Do you know the ube cheese pandesal during the pandemic? It's very sikat here in the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
And the sushi bake. Have
It
you
was
tried?
trending. That's good though. I mean, I can see why. Yum. Wow.
But, sa inyo, it's avocado toast.
It was avocado and dating apps, a lot of dating apps. So, but even like, if there's a lot of like, we're doing the Filipino Comedy Fest. So even like when there's a lot of Filipinos, things like we overlap a lot, right? Like, oh, my immigrant mom spanks me or she prays, or, so things like that. So I think it's just really good to be like, as specific and as personal as possible.
Okay.
So then it's really as you said earlier.
So that's your tip for aspiring comedians on how to write their jokes. Make it more personal.
Oh yeah, yeah.
More point of view. Not too generic.
Oh yeah, not generic at all. Like generic enough so that people can see themselves in you, but so specific that it's also unique to you. Like it's a nice balance too. And then also I feel like the more truthful it is, the more truthful I present it in stand-up comedy. Because I'm not, like I have like a nerdy background. I have like an economics degree, right? So I don't have this like acting training or anything. But when like something is so you and you experienced it and it's your truth, then you become like an actor because you're actually feeling those feelings that you had when that situation happened.
So going back to the time when you decided to leave all your corporate life, how much was your income back then?
It was a lot. It was.
Can you write it down? I'll just react. I won't announce it.
Okay. Really?
You write it down, yeah.
Okay, I'll write it very in small. They won't zoom in. I'll write it in US.
Yeah, US.
Okay.
That's a year or a month?
A year.
A year. So divide it by 12. Oh, okay. Not bad. Malaki talaga.
Yeah, and that was a while ago. So yeah.
I'll compute it in peso.
No, you said you're just write it down.
Yeah.
Oh, for your reaction.
Yeah.
Okay. I was really good at my job. I will say that. What? Oh, come on!
Grabe. Mas malaki pa sweldo niya kay Zar. Talaga.
But that's New York City.
Yeah.
Big company. I had been there for 15 years, and I did a really good job.
From being a corporate executive, you left it all behind to become a stand-up comedian, and now you're a school aide.
Yeah.
So what's the reaction of the teachers when they learned about it?
They're like, it's very American to follow your dreams,
What did your husband say?
You really want to do this, huh? I know. He really loves me.
How about your mom?
Oh, well, no, my mom passed away in 2011 and my dad passed away when I was 18. So
okay.
I like to think they're happy, but they're probably
Okay, how about the
mortified.
titos and titas?
Oh gosh, they're like
The Filipino tito and
oh
tita.
yeah, it's like okay, comedian, huh? Yeah,
Hindi yun sinabi, gago ka ba? Iwan
Yeah.
mo yan?
pretty much,
Ah.
pretty much. Yeah, it's like okay. But in the back of their minds, they know that I'm married to someone who's supporting me and the family. So,
okay.
yeah.
So they might be computing also. Okay naman pala. Sige,
Yeah,
kumita,
yeah,
no?
yeah, yeah.
Kaya naman, no? Mayaman naman yung asawa mo.
I'm very lucky.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky he's
Sabi,
supportive.
may ipon ka naman. Okay yan. Nasa Amerika na kaming lahat eh.
It's a wild ride, but that's like, until like you get a Netflix special or a television show or something. Like all the comedians in New York have day jobs. Like that is the truth. Like even like I've had a successful run where I'm like, starting to get past into clubs in New York City.
Yeah.
Like those spots, like 1 or 2 spots a night, it's like $25. Sometimes if I host, it's $50. And that's not going to support a family.
How about if you're a headliner in New York? How much does it, how much do they pay you?
For just those spots, almost the same amount.
Like $50?
Yeah, $50. But that's just at a club.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're headlining like a theater, then that's a whole other ball game. Like, like the Ronnie Changs and the Joe Coys and the big superstars like that. Like those are thousands and thousands of dollars. So.
Okay. So what's your advice to people listening right now who's working in the Philippines with their day jobs and they want to do something else?
Marry rich. I'm being realistic. No, it that helps a lot to not have to worry about your bills.
Just be practical, no?
Yeah, no, it is, and like obviously, we were both working when we got married, and this is like I'm kind of saying it in jest, but yeah, you have to be able to support yourself because creatively, that it's in comedy. I feel like like in your career. Like there's usually a career path, and the harder you work, you'll probably get promoted.
Yeah.
And here, I feel like with comedy or being any creative, like there are so many things that aren't up to you, right? So you just have to keep working at your craft or your art, and you have to keep being persistent and just have like faith that something's gonna happen for you.
Okay, so you've been doing comedy for 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
How many hours have you written of comedy?
Oh my God!
How many? If you're going to be headlining a show here in the Philippines, how long will you do your set?
Well, the show I'm doing on Saturday, I think it's like a 20-minute spot.
Yeah.
So that's fine. How many jokes overall? Oh my gosh! If I catalog them all, like a couple hours. Yeah.
Couple hours.
Yeah.
Galing. So. Back then, people wanted to have their own CD, their own HBO special. Now they want to have their own Netflix special. Are you in the future? Will we expect a Netflix special from you?
Yeah, I would love to record an hour and put it up somewhere, whether it's Netflix, Prime, wherever, whoever buys it. Yeah, just put it out there in the world and like see who it connects with.
So maybe when it happens, you'll promote it here first in the Underpaid podcast.
Yeah, I would love to. It can be finally paid, right? It's like it would be such a dream, and then also to just to make like a ton of money from being funny, whether it's like doing commercials or doing a television show or selling a television show,
writing a sitcom on Netflix, right?
That would once you start being a showrunner, then you can really make it rain.
Yeah. Patricia, thank you very much for sharing your story. You're very inspiring. I'm sure a lot of people who are listening to this podcast, they would like to pursue their dream job, or they would like to do a side hustle in what they really want to do.
Yeah.
Please promote your socials.
Okay, you can find me on Instagram at Patricia Dinglasan Comedy, and just see what I'm up to at www.patriciadinglasan.com. Oh, and can I mention the Filipino Comedy Festival?
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing the second annual Filipino Comedy Festival. This year it's going to be in 2 cities. It's going to be in San Francisco, October 4th and 5th. And then it's going to be in New York City, October 17th to the 19th.
Who's going to be performing?
So far, we have headliners booked. Andrew Rolfo is coming. He came to the Philippines with Jokoy. The Granny Cart Gangstas. They've been in Filipino Vogue. They're an all-female improv team. And Durf.
Durf Hebrado.
Durf is performing in New York City. Yeah, so we're going to have a good time.
You'll be performing too.
Of course.
Mariel Chua.
Mariel's coming. The whole gang's coming.
Wow, all Pinoy. What's the name of the festival? All
Filipino Comedy Festival.
produced by
myself and my partner, Kyle Marian, and we're called Banana Ketchup Comedy. We started.
Banana Ketchup Comedy.
Banana Ketchup.
So, thank you very much, Patricia. At sa mga immortal na nakikinig, sana na-inspire kayo.
Yeah. Don't wait until you're 40 to start,
At
please.
maghanap ng mayaman na asawa.
I'm just being honest. It's nice. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. It's nice to follow your passion when you have a rich husband.
Yeah, right? That's why all those Real Housewives make handbags afterwards. But it's a blessing, and I'm so grateful for my life, honestly.
This episode is so bitin. Sana may part 2 when you come back here in the Philippines, no? Kasi you'll be till September 2 lang eh.
Yeah.
Diba? So,
it is short, but you know what? So am I.
Okay lang yan, di bale. Babalik si Patricia dito sa Underpaid pag ipopromote na niya yung Netflix special niya. So there you have it, guys, for Patricia Dinglasan. I'm your host, Stanley, and this is the Underpaid Podcast.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.